Good afternoon. We have a special guest speaker for you today. Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of My Gym Partners, a podcast. Attendance is mandatory.
Bull shark, porcupine, I don't know what. Doing this podcast's a pain in the...
Oh.
So you decide. You know, we got like a lot of material here, you know, in these two episodes. It could have been related to those.
Skeksis are forever, Renee.
I mean, I guess that's relevant, you know.
This podcast belongs to Skeksis now.
I'm shuffling my paperwork here. Here I have, Gert sent me a memo a little earlier today. I'm going to do a Skeksis bit. Don't just play along. Maybe watch The Dark Crystal before so you can get it. But,
why didn't I get this memo? We got memos now?
I think it got buried under the paperwork a little bit.
Crystal's power gives only to Skeksis.
Hey, Gert.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, everybody. I watched The Dark Crystal.
Yeah, you sure did.
but more importantly, hey everybody, we watched another episode of My Gym Partners, a Monkey. Why?
Oh.
Because you're on My Gym Partners, a podcast.
Whoa,
Oh, come on down, everybody.
It's our sworn duty. You thought that we were... You gave up on us? No, we are here. We're here to talk about this show. We're not giving up. We're not giving up. We're not giving up.
No, like, you know, we like to, like, we like to take a bit to, like, sort some stuff out. We got a new intro here made by our lovely co-host here who pops in sometimes, our guest star, Niall.
Yeah, give it up for Niall. Hey, everybody give it up for Niall. Woo.
Give it up for Niall. I love it.
Yeah, we've watched 2 episodes today. And personally, I don't know about you two. One I hated, and one I enjoyed. I liked.
The common duality of each episode. The joy and the hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the first one was a bunch of dumb bullshit, didn't mean anything, and the second one was interesting.
Yeah.
Kinda cool.
That's my opinion, pretty much.
Do you think there's a reason that, like, I've noticed a disturbing trend, I feel like, when it comes to us, like, hating and loving an episode. It's usually the first episode that we don't like, and then the second one ends up, like, picking up the slack. Do you think they know, like, when they were, like, figuring this out, when they're just like, alright, we need to, like, structure this episode, like, these 2 episodes to fit them together? Do you think they always put the weakest one in the front?
Well, I don't know much about how episodes get paired up, especially in these kind of, like, not story-driven cartoons. But I would feel like that would be a bad idea to put your weakest episode first.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, like, you would think that, wouldn't you? Because that would, like, make kids stop watching it, but... From our research, it seems that this is how things are, and you know, our opinions on this show are above everything else. It's the highest power in the world.
You know, the people who made the show might not have any at all control on how the episodes get ordered.
I'm very curious about that now.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to get into the industry and find out.
Yeah, so tune into the next episode where we involve ourselves in Cartoon Network, see how thing made.
Hey Cartoon Network, here's my resume. If you need me to have some racist or really, like, questionable allegories or morals in your episodes, yeah, I got you. I can do that. I have no morals, no ethics holding me back. I'll be as reprehensible and offensive as you need. Call me.
Cartoon Network, I hear you've been needing somebody.
Anyway, let's talk about the Citronella. Let's talk about the Citronella.
The solution. The
Citronella Solution. Hey, what the fuck is Citronella?
Well, I would assume citrus, like orange, right? But Citronella is like hold on, Renee, you looked this up.
Yeah, I looked this up. Here, let's have like a botany corner with Renee.
Botany corner with Renee, yay!
Citronella oil is an essential oil. It's obtained from the leaves and stems of the Cymbopogon plant, or lemongrass, as it's more colloquially known, and it's used for a lot of perfume. They're used in soaps, candles, and incense, but it's also used as an insect repellent.
Are you telling me that you don't actually get citronella from like citrus fruit bearing plants?
No, it's not.
It's specifically lemongrass?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Well, it's the truth. It's
Well, it is the truth. And it's weird that this is what it's called. This episode feels very dreamlike. I feel like we're going to gloss over a lot of things that happen in this episode because it feels very fast. It feels like they had an idea that they wanted to do, but they get about 3/4 of the way through the episode and they're like, oh shit, the idea we had, the freaking title of the episode we haven't even brought up. Let's do it now. And then the last fourth of the episode is just chaos and makes no sense.
Pacing could be better.
It's so incredibly strange how this episode's main focus in the beginning is Jake being a soothsayer, and then like it's not.
Well,
like,
let's not.
It's kinda there, but.
Well, slow down there, you psychic. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here.
Sorry, I'm just peering into the future, and Oh, slow down there, sport. You're getting a little too ahead of the game.
So we hear some funky music. That's how our episode starts, and Jake is gossiping, I assume,
about some other animal who was like shaving wrong, and he was telling her how like that's how you get ingrown hairs, and all throughout that, Adam with like a weird like combed hairstyle that's like a big hair thing is just like carrying a tissue paper going, I hear that,
which get used to that.
Yeah. And he's dabbing his face because he's like sweating.
For some reason, that's his thing this episode.
Woo! You're so right.
They made him a very strange little boy in this episode.
and Jake suddenly, in the middle of his gossiping, is like, oh no, do you feel that? And Adam, is just like, I feel that. Wait, what? And there's an earthquake that Jake predicted. And he's just like, an earthquake is a coming, and then a locker falls on Adam. It's horrible. He's crushed.
Yeah, he's just smushed underneath the big locker, and some of the gang comes around, and they step on the locker, crushing Adam even more.
Ingrid and Lupe come around. They're really impressed that they think that Jake might have the gift.
But he's too young to have the gift.
Well, you see, he must eat a lot of marshmallow cream. I've heard this. There's been studies.
Says Windsor.
Thank you, Windsor. And Jake is Jake is a psychic monkey apparently, and everybody just kind of takes this at face value. And I mean, during this conversation that they're all having, Adam is still trapped under some lockers, and they're all now actively standing on the lockers that are above Adam. So he's dying a little bit.
He's very pained in this episode.
If I could tell the future, y'all, I think I would like first of all, I would prove to you guys that I could tell the future, and then I would tell you guys lies about your future.
That's so cruel.
Well,
there's a good joke here though, where like they keep asking Jake like, "Oh, tell me like what's gonna happen to me when I grow up?" Like, it Slips is like, "Will I ever grow limbs?" And Ingrid's like, "Tell me about my love life." And Jake's like, "Sorry guys, I only predict disasters." And Lupe just goes, "Oh, did you hear that, Ingrid? You're in luck." Ingrid just like fucking grabs her and like throws her away.
she kicks her away and goes, "Yeah!"
I think that's the most like self-defensive like against like Lupe's like put downs that Ingrid's been like
She's
this
becoming
entire
stronger.
series.
She's becoming stronger. She like in this episode has shown to be more like aggressive towards like Lupe's bullshit, and then even in the second episode that like sticks around. Maybe that's the trait that links these two episodes together.
There, you know, like people say this show like each episode has nothing to do with each other. I say there is a small but traceable through line through each character as their arcs like rise and fall like a sine wave, just
right,
ebbing and flowing, changing. Except for Adam. Adam stays the same. He's just always the same.
Always the same.
He's the
Poor
constant.
little Adam.
We need to have the constant. So Jake decides to kind of lean into this psychic persona and pulls out a turban, which he puts on, and he's like, "Oh, here it comes. It's coming clear to me like a note on the inside of my eyelids. Buy bananas." And then he's like, "Oh, wait. No, it actually is a note on my eyelids," and pulls
his eyelids.
back his eyelid, and you can see it's written on. He wrote on his eyelids. Hey, he wrote on his eyelids. Why did he do that?
It's funny. Because it's funny, gross.
But you can't see you can't see that. Like, if you closed your eyes, you wouldn't be able to see if anything was written on it, right?
Well, if you put like a harsh, bright light to your eyes while they're closed.
That's horrible. That's a horrible thing. He could use like glow in the dark ink when he closes his eyes.
That actually might work. I was trying to think about it.
Would that work? I wonder if the like glowy stuff would be able to absorb enough like passive light for it to like glow. Hey, somebody out there,
nobody test
Please,
this out.
That sounds horrible. I would not wish that on anybody. Do not test
don't.
that out.
So
if you do, we aren't liable.
To prove that he is psychic, he says, "Oh, I see Mr. Hornbill. He's gonna give a pop quiz. That's okay. I see the answer key too." "Oh, ew, gross." And they're just kind of like, "What?" But he was right. It cuts to Mr. Hornbill's class, and he's like, "Everyone got a top score, and I know nobody cheated because I hid the answer key in the fat folds of my neck."
Womp womp.
Well, that's what Jake was seeing when he used his psychic vision, which I guess now he just has. Hey, now he's psychic. That's just canon. Like, I feel like we're not giving that enough attention. Actually, hold on, pause everything.
Yes.
Jake is psychic, and it's like proven. Like, he can see the future.
It's not like they don't even prove it. Spoilers. They don't even prove it wrong in the end of the episode. He is, in fact, psychic. He is totally clairvoyant, and I'm like just thinking, how many times has he? I guess like he did say at one point in the beginning of this episode, "Oh, I've never harnessed the power of my like abilities, my gift."
Well, maybe he subconsciously has used it before. Like this, it feels like he subconsciously like felt the earthquake coming. Like he he didn't have any choice. That vision just came to him. I bet he's used it in the past. That's why he always seems to have a one-up on Adam.
Yeah! Oh my god! Fucking monkey psychic. Oh, we forgot to say that also there was a point where it goes psychic monkey, and it's a very high-res image of Jake's face with real monkey face.
Real monkey face with marshmallow cream to illustrate that he's been eating marshmallow cream. Why, I don't know, but
Oh god, it's so funny.
Which gives him why the so LOL random. Haha,
Yeah.
marshmallow cream.
Oh, I love marshmallow cream.
but we do have verifiable evidence that Jake is a psychic. He does have power. He has some power over this reality, and I think that should have attention as we go into the lunchroom.
It's horrifying how much power he must have. Like, have you ever thought about all the little traits that, like, have been given to Jake just for an episode over, like, the course of the entire time we've been watching this? And you just, like, think about, like, what if he just took advantage of all of that just all at once?
God. He'd be unstoppable.
He would be so unstoppable. It'd be like his requiem.
The only thing stopping him is his love for his butt, as is illustrated by him not in the beginning of the episode not wanting to like talk about his psychic powers that much, just talking about his butt. It's like, hey, that's great. You seen this butt? That's pretty
But
great.
I got a good butt though. Like, that's cool too, right? So they're in the lunchroom and they're all asking Jake, like, hey, why don't you see what we look like as adults? And one by one, he seems to upset them by saying, oh, Ingrid, your beak's never gonna stop growing. Sorry, God. Lupe, your beak's never gonna stop growing. Ingrid, you won't stop growing either. Slips, you'll get a mustache. No, wait, that's a skin condition. Windsor, serious silverback action.
And then also, in which Windsor responds, I thought this could stop. I didn't. I wish this wouldn't happen to me. And then he goes, cry,
Sob,
sad,
sob.
sob. And he's shown to do that a lot in this episode as well. There are a lot of little like character like twerks. Is that the right word? Twerk?
Did you say twerk?
I said twerk!
Quirk.
Little character twerks.
Character twerk!
I don't want to think on that.
Me either. Quirks is the word that I meant. And, yeah, there are a lot of those in this episode.
I feel like lately we've been getting a lot of, like, deeper characterizations of, like, the pack animals. Like, Ingrid's changing a bit. Like, Lupe's not so one note anymore. And Windsor is talking a lot more often. I feel like they're a lot more in the center than they used to be, like in the earlier episodes where they just felt like convenient plot elements.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the fucked up thing here is Adam's like, what about me, Jake? And Jake just goes, I don't see you. It's like, does Adam die before he reaches adulthood?
Just what a scary thing to say. To just say, I don't see you. I mean, we figure out why. It's because,
It's because like a locker falls on him. By the way, a locker fell on him in Mr. Hornbill's class as well. This is the running joke. But like a locker fell on him, and it's like, I think like a locker's like fell on you or something. But he was like trying to predict like the far future of adulthood. So you think that's how Adam goes?
Or maybe do you think Jake, in like his, maybe he felt like a good friend for once, and he decided, oh shit, I shouldn't tell Adam that he's going to die. I shouldn't tell him of his death. I'm going to segue this into a little joke.
That's where we get the real plot of the episode, where Jake is like, oh no, I see the end, and he's freaking out, and it cuts to him sitting in like the fucking quad or whatever, like with a rainbow wig, and he has like a sign on him that says like the end is near, and everyone around him just takes it at face value again, and it starts freaking out and rioting, all with their torches and pitchforks and whatnot.
Classic.
Classic.
We quickly, like, in a mere instant, segue into Principal Pixie Frog's classroom after all this. And what's the reason for this? Why is he, like, in, like, a 70s, 80s, like, roller getup? Like, skating around?
Renee, it's funny.
Usually I enjoy Principal Pixie Frog's antics, but I gotta say, this scene felt very, what's the word, ham-fisted?
Very, like, just, like, heavily out of place. Like, I like a good random joke if the randomness of it, like, punches you with its, like, oh yeah, that's right, huh? Where like, if a random, like, occurrence happens, and it feels, like, right, but also it just came right out of nowhere and it's intense. That's a good kind of, like, random joke. Here, no rhyme or reason. It's not even explained. Like, nobody reacts to it. So what's the point of it?
I don't know, because he rolls in. He's like, "Miss Warhog, what's going on?" And she explains the situation. And the conversation they have sounds so weird, because they're, like, sort of breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Like, but, like, in a very, very, like, not funny, just blunt way, where, like, he's like, we have to stop this, like,
with a solution.
Yeah, there's some sort of line, I don't remember how exactly it goes, but...
Told you I could work that into the
Citronella Solution. Told you I could work it in. And, like, apparently there was a bet that Principal Pixie Frog couldn't work in the title of the episode into the...
He literally says the title of the episode. Like, he says that. Like, he's aware he's in a cartoon. And it's the other line where I forget who says it. It's like, what? We can't have people going around with pitchforks and torches. And the other one says, but that's a cartoon classic. It's like, like you're in a cartoon?
We've had our fair share of, like, fourth wall breaks, little, like, meta nudges, wink wink, it's like, yeah, I enjoy it sometimes here, like, it's a little funny, but, like, more so it's just awkward. It's really awkward how it's, like, one
word
after the other, and, like, they're like you said, Lucy, they're not even, like, they're telling this in, like, a weird, like, blunted affect. They're just like, yeah.
It's not really clever in any way. I did like the one part of this, like, exchange that I laughed at is after they do the whole, like, oh, that's a cartoon classic. Principal Pixie Frog says, like, our insurance stopped covering that, and I thought that was kind of funny, but, like, other than that, it just feels it's a very odd scene, especially considering, like I said, I know we've been kind of, like, going through this episode fast. This is actually towards the very end of the episode. Like, I think there's only 2 minutes left of the episode at this point. Like, it's at the very end that they mention the entire thing the episode's named after, and then also, like, mention that they're talking about the title of the episode. I don't know, is that the whole joke of this whole episode?
That might be the joke, right? Like, it's very self-aware, so I feel like it being the point of the entire episode is, lol, look at how random this is. We finally got to the name. Oh, look, it's Citronella. Isn't that crazy? This has nothing to... This is...
I realize this is a mid-2000s Cartoon Network cartoon show, but I feel so taken out of it. This is one of those episodes that's just on TV and you just leave it in the background and you just to hear the noise and see, like, these weird, colorful characters running around doing stuff. Oh, what are they doing now? They're like running around with pitchforks and torches. Oh, they get the staff has like army outfits right now, and they're on a tank. They're doing something for sure.
It's totally a cartoon. For the
Yeah.
sake, like it is a cartoon at its just most basic level.
So the thing that Principal Pixie Frog decides, because he hears about the riot, he hears about Jake's quote-unquote gift, so he decides that he's got these, like, collars that he calls the gift-suppressing Citronella Solution. So he, Mr. Mandrill, and Miss Warthog, in full army garb, go through the, like, common area and start just, like, throwing these collars on everybody, and they press a button, and the Citronella, I'm assuming, I'm still not quite sure what it is or what it does.
It's an oil that's just like, from what I read here, it's like mostly an insect repellent, but I guess it can also be used as like a sort of behavioral like modifier for like animals, just to like, you know, like a spray bottle, just like, ew, oh, that's a bad smell, ooh, I don't want to do that, ooh, I'm being classically trained. Curse you, Pavlov.
Curse you, Pavlov.
So Mr. Mandrill is at first concerned. He doesn't think it's very humane, but Principal Pixie Frog's like, no, it's fine. It doesn't hurt him.
Oh, no.
I want to try.
So they start spraying everybody, and it's weird, and like just kind of everyone stops freaking out, throws away all their pitchforks and torches, and now they're just like sitting in the lunchroom like, we can't mess up, we can't not behave, or we're gonna get sprayed with this nasty stuff.
The whole tone and the theme of this episode has just drastically shifted. At first it was like, oh, you know, that's so Raven weird, like freaky psychic episode. Jake's like got psychic powers now. That's pretty fun. But now it's just like behavioral suppression. Conform. You are conforming to Principal Pixie Frog's dictation.
Obey! They look like people. It's
kind of like, it doesn't feel good, this bit, because the bit where they're all getting sprayed, after one person gets sprayed, another person's like, hey, you can't do that, and then they get sprayed, and another person's like, hey, you can't do that, and after all that, they're now so afraid to move. They're just like standing still, horrified. They don't want to get sprayed again.
It's really like, it just tonally, like there was one line where it's just like, I don't want to get gassed. I don't want them to get me. And it just made me feel like, this sucks. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry that Principal Pixie Frog is doing this to you.
I don't think this paints Principal Pixie Frog in a good light. It's a bit of an unflattering episode, if you ask me. But even so, even if like Jake's gift has been suppressed, quote unquote, he still can't help but see the end. It's coming near, and it's the big one.
Oh, the big one! We have to do something. We have to get rid of all this fucking citronella.
Yeah, Adam, you have to like go stand up on the table and keep getting sprayed by the citronella until it runs out. And Adam's like,
okay, I guess.
Why don't you do that? Because I have the gift. I need to protect the gift.
I'm delicate. My gift is fragile, and I can't let it be destroyed.
Plus, you gotta testify.
Oh, I hear that. And so Adam gets up, has a whole little speech. Like,
let me lay it down on y'all.
God. Jake Spider Monkey has seen the future.
Jake Spider Monkey has seen the end. The end is near. We're all gonna die.
So he starts just like slamming that button, and it gets stuck, and all the citronella gets used up, and he's like, oh, I didn't know these, could run out.
I guess it runs out.
So Adam goes back to Jake. It's like, okay, like, I did it. Like, tell us, how does the world end? And he's like, what? What's it?
Yeah. You said it was like the big one.
But... Oh my god, he tricked us.
Now,
it wasn't.
Now, before you say it, I honestly thought that it was going to be like another like meta thing, because I didn't really remember this episode all too well, and I thought, oh, okay, I get it. It's the end of the episode. That's what it's gonna be. No.
That would have been funny.
That would have been warranted. I would have seen that coming, but I was like, you know what? I'm ready for that one. I think that'll be pretty funny. Nah, it was his butt.
It was his butt.
Yeah, he's talking about his butt. The end. The end of his butt. The end of his body where his butt is. Hey, I just realized with that thought how this episode might have been a bit better. What if the idea of breaking the fourth wall was like a subtle constant throughout the episode, and then at the end it reveals that Jake wasn't exactly psychic, he just somehow got a copy of the script to the episode, and it like falls out his back pocket or something, and they're like, this is how you've been predicting things, because he knows how the episode goes.
What if
that would have been like something? I don't know. Cartoon Network, hire me.
Jake Spider Monkey can see the future. Jake Spider Monkey is clairvoyant.
Yep. He sure is.
That's that episode. Mediocre.
Mediocre.
Oh, gee.
Next episode.
Next time on My Gym Partners, a podcast.
I can hear your little kitty, Lucy. Does she want to be on the podcast?
Get in line.
We worked for this.
You know what, Sprite? You know what I did to get here? All the people I stepped on to get here. There's so many people who want to be where I am. Talking about My Gym Partner's a monkey for an hour and 13 minutes or so. This doesn't come for free, Sprite.
You think you can compete, Sprite? You think you can fucking compete?
It's like looking at an eldritch entity and then saying what color their iris was.
I feel like I'm going fucking insane doing this podcast, Sprite. You're just a cat.
She's gone. She's gone.
Oh, that's okay then.
And now, back to the show.
Hey, look. I know that last episode was a bit mediocre. It wasn't great, but come on, let's try this one. Come on. Don't knock it till you try it. That's the name of the episode. I worked it in.
Knock it till you try.
You owe me $5, Gert.
Why do I owe you anything?
It's like it's like the past episode where like Miss Warthog owed Principal Pixie Frog $5 for like working in the title of the episode.
Oh.
It was so natural, wasn't it? It was so fluid, just like that moment.
I can feel my brain shrinking.
Just as fluid as
I can't.
Just as fluid as this. What's happening right now?
Don't knock it till you try it. Good morning, students.
Good morning.
I was really excited for this episode off the bat because it starts off with our good friend, our very, very good, precious friend, Slips, narrating. He is trapped. Trapped in school. It's dark. Oh, it's dark. How did he get trapped in this gnarly predicament? Even he doesn't know.
And he's writing his last note, much like a Fallout game or some sort of survival horror game. He can only hope that it'll reach somebody before it's too late.
Slips is trapped in the back rooms.
He tries to like send it out as a paper plane. Hope you fly far, little origami dude. But it knocks against the windowsill, so he just crumples the paper around a rock and throws it out. I want to say before we get too into it, I love the mood of this episode. Love nighttime antics in cartoons, and this one is very spooky. It's very, this should have been the Halloween episode.
It may have been. We don't know. It could have played during Halloween. We don't know.
Good point.
Good point. But what I will say is, yes, Renee, this episode had a very good mood to it. It's one of those things that if I viewed it as a child, it would have made my brain want to live in it.
That's
because
what it did for me.
I love nighttime. Like, you know what it reminded me of?
What?
It gave me kind of like an I Spy spooky night, like, or just like any of the I Spy books. You know, like how they kind of have like a loose little story in it, and they have this weird, like, strange ambience to them.
Yeah, I feel that. This definitely has that, like, it's sort of an anthology.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way of putting it, because we get to see a lot of new stuff in this episode.
I like the format of this episode because, like, it's not like a traditional cliched plot or anything. It's just like it's showing the real strength of this show. A show with a school full of animals. It shows the school of animals.
Hey, remember that they're all animals and it's a school?
Remember
that's cool as shit.
Remember that's like something that you can actually like work with, and you don't have to, I don't know, make an episode where Jake sees his ass in the future.
So, the note raptor on the rock makes its way to the zoo, and it hits Windsor, who is dreaming about bananas, and he reads it and he's worried for his little buddy, his best friend in the whole world, so he rips his shirt off and starts pounding on it, to which Ingrid, Lupe, and Jake all show up, and it's kind of nice to imagine that they probably hang out a lot when they're at the zoo. Like,
it's cute, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
the concept of them being such, like, close friends. Like, they're not just school pals, like, they're pals even at home.
Yeah. So Lupe's like, this better not be another drill, Windsor, or I think she says monkey boy specifically. And she's like, I need my beauty sleep.
That I need it.
Yeah. But Windsor shows them the distressing note, and they all seem equally concerned.
They're like, apparently, if this flashback is correct, Slips must have overslept on one of the hot rocks in the quad, which, that's a nice little detail. I like, they have hot rocks.
Yeah.
Like, that like, are like specially heated electronically. That's nice.
Just a nice little place for you to rest if you're a reptile. Like, that's really accommodating.
Yeah, thank you, Charles Darwin. I'm surprised. I'm thrilled.
Surprised, especially after the Citronella Solution, that's for sure.
So, they decide that they need to save Slips because Slips is trapped in night school with all the creepy nocturnal animals. So they need a plan.
But they're a bunch of stupid animals, so they could never come up with a plan. I mean, look, I gotta question this. Like, maybe we could have had like an episode like where Windsor is the lead role here. He's smart. He can figure stuff out. He's like led to the solution of a lot of problems in these episodes.
Heck,
but no.
Adam and Jake come to him for wisdom, like, a lot of the times.
Yeah, I think it would have... I was thinking to myself when this episode was first starting out, I was like, oh, is this gonna be just an animals episode? Like, is Adam gonna be in this at all? I kind of like that it's just these guys.
Yeah, I think that would have made it a little bit neater, wouldn't it have?
Yeah.
If Adam just wasn't there, it was just interactions between the gang.
But
yeah.
no.
And, yeah.
But
No.
we need that human element to like ground us, so that we have something to relate to, as unfortunate as that sounds.
Oh, wait. This is very important.
Yes.
Slips signs his letter of help with a little heart and then his name. And when Windsor's reading the note, it plays Slips' voice and he's like, "Get me the heck out of here!" Little heart, Slips.
God.
Little heart. Sleep. Yeah, it's really cute. I love that.
I love you, Slips. You're so darling.
Yes. So they decide to break into Adam's house in the middle of the night, and they to wake him up. They throw one of his toys at him, his toy fire truck at him. It's so funny.
It's like, what are y'all doing here? I was sleeping. We need to save Slips. He's stuck in night school. Why do you need me? Go get him.
They try to explain to Adam how terrible night school is, how creepy the nocturne animals are. I think Lupe says something like they're far worse than anything your pink species could imagine, or something like that, which is a weird thing to say. Windsor's like, they're learning night skills, which I don't know what that means.
It's kind of ominous and pretty foreboding. What do they do in that night school? What kind of awful rituals happen? Are they?
I learned night skills.
What night skills did you learn, Gert?
I learned how to crawl through the grass like a worm.
Very good.
I'm very smart.
But yeah, they're all scared of what the night animals have in comparison to the day animals. They even can see in the dark. And Windsor pulls up a flashlight to his face, and Jake's like, "Ooh, fire in a box."
I really like that line because it's just Jake knows what electricity is. That's a dumb joke, but it's funny.
Jake can't be that dummy. He's
Fire
not
in
that
a jar.
Ooh, fire in a jar.
So they decide that they're all going to meet up at the school. So they're all in the back of the school, I'm assuming. And Jake is incredibly nervous, and he keeps trying to say let's not do this. Maybe Slips isn't gone, or maybe this was just Slips' time. I don't want to do this. It's probably too much. But
Slips is long gone.
Adam shows up in some groovy night vision goggles, which is a line he says. I don't know why he said it like that though.
And he also brought some tater tots in case they get hungry.
They're the weirdest looking tater tots I've ever seen.
It's the smallest handful of food to bring for a large group of people you could imagine. It's just it looks like 2 tater tots.
It looks like it's all mushed up together because he was carrying it in his back pocket. It's awful. No foresight.
Stupid Adam. Stupid Adam. He shouldn't have come.
Adam. Why didn't they leave you? Why didn't they leave you at home?
So they look over and they see a dumpster in the back, and they hear, some sort of noise coming from it. So they all peek in, and it's a raccoon teacher teaching a dumpster diving class.
This raccoon teacher is so precious. I love the way she looks, because she looks kind of goofy. She's very she's just shapes. Her head is a little, it's just a little I don't know what kind of shape you'd call that. I guess like an oval, but like it's pointy down like the sides, and she's just has this like funny smile on her face. She's doing a good job.
Yeah, teaching the kids how to forage for trash. All the six main food groups: trash, dumps, garbage, a regular
Tra-
a regular poo poo platter in the dumpsters.
Poo poo.
It's garbage.
You get it? It's 'cause there's shit in there.
That was pretty alright though. Pretty alright joke. One of the students like finds a banana pudding cup that's like nearly empty, and starts licking it, and Jake's like, "No, I thought there wasn't any left in there when I threw it out. I didn't mean to. Give it back." And he's like desperately like hanging on to it. Everyone's else is already like left in like shock. They were too scared. But like Windsor goes back and is like, "Come on, Jake," trying to pull him out.
Literally stop, Jake. You don't need it. Get over it.
Throw it out.
Adam is exploring the hallways, and he comes across a possum student who's just getting into some garbage, just really getting into it. And he's like, "Oh, that's a really big rat." And the possum like turns out and just like hisses at him. He's like, "Ah!" And he runs away, dropping his goggles. But then the possum's like, "Wait!" And he pulls out like a retainer, and he's like, "Oh, I was just trying to say I'm a possum, not a rat."
I'll never get used to this retainer.
No, he says it in more like a regular. I'll never get used to this retainer.
Lupe is in the lunchroom, and she comes across my favorite characters, I think.
Oh yeah, these we get a trio of bat girls, vampire bat girls specifically. They're all like crowding around her, and they're all like enamored with Lupe. Like, "Ooh, you're such a colorful bat. What kind of bat are you?"
Yeah, they're like telling her how pretty she is and stuff. It's like gay, you know? And Lupe is really just like,
Ooh,
yeah.
I hope they don't suck my blood. I'm a fruit bat. And when I was watching this, I thought there was more interaction between her and these bats, but I think that's it for this like little scene. But I would have liked something more with that, like maybe like a little plot thread, like a mini plot thread that like all would have converged. But you know, just seeing these like little bat girls, they're cute. This is fun. This is a fun little thing.
I gotta say the environment is like, it's interesting because it's Charles Darwin Middle School at night, but like it's darker, and there's these like glowy mushrooms, and like everything looks a bit more just, I don't know, mystical in the dark. It's really fun.
I wouldn't mind if Charles Darwin looked like this all the time.
It's really like it's really wonderful, and even Adam like looks at it and looks, it pans through the school, and he's like, "Man, it really looks different during the night." We see some moth students. We see some like carnivorous like purple plants that are just part of the scenery. I really like how this looks. Like, bravo to the background artists behind this one.
Yeah, it's super serene. Like, I especially really like that part, Renee, where he like looks out and sees like this big pan of the school, because like it's just cool seeing the environment change so drastically. Like the idea of a place just altogether becoming like a different place at night is just such a nice, like, cozy concept for me.
Yeah, I feel that. Like, it's kind of cozy, but there's also that sense of mystery, that sense of wonder, that sense of fear. It all mixes into like a beautiful eeriness, I think. And
Yeah.
that's this episode.
Beautifully eerie.
As we see here with Ingrid, she's like, pokes her head out to look for slips, and she sees an astronomy class. Nothing scary about astronomy. I like astronomy. And she asks them if they've seen like a big friendly snake. Slips, and they point to a constellation there. And it's like, oh, that's cute. That's fun.
I never really thought about Slips being big, but he's very big.
He is a python.
Yeah,
he is a python, but like whenever I looked at him, I was just like, "Oh, my little snake friend." But God, he's big. Like he's as big as Adam.
That's true. That is very true.
Like he's huge.
They point to a snake constellation, and she's like, "Oh, constellations. You want to know my favorite constellation?" She turns.
That one.
There's like an Adam Lion shaped constellation, and she goes, "I want to wish on that heavenly body." It's like, what?
I guess we're back to this. I guess we're back to like the crushing on Adam thing.
It's out of nowhere, but it's kind of funny here.
Kind of funny.
Adam,
kind of creepy.
It's creepy, but it's mostly just seeing Adam Lion
as a constellation.
As a constellation. Like there's something kind of like that feels like a good new Twitter banner for us, honestly.
But I like the one where Jake is staring lovingly into space.
Oh my God. We could put the Adam Lion constellation in the space.
Yes. Let's do that.
See, best of both worlds.
I guess I got my Photoshop work cut out for me.
We cut back to Windsor, who's like holding Jake and peeking into classrooms, and he's like, "Hello, Slips. Where are you, little buddy? Hello."
Hello.
Hello,
Slips.
I consistently love Windsor's little, like, timid voice that he uses for, like, cutesy talk. I love it.
It's so funny, honestly. It's one of my favorite things that he does, for sure. Like, a little birdie wordy. You are.
He finds an owl classroom. Wait, is this where? Yeah. He finds an owl classroom, and he's talking to an owl, and you get the classic gag of like, asking, like, talking to him, and he's like, "Who? Oh, this is Jake. He's my little buddy. Anyway, we're looking for Slips. Who? Oh, well, he's a little like snake about this high, and he's." And Jake, of course, is like, this is lame.
This is fucking stupid. Why are we doing this?
Jake, he's probing our minds using the Socratic method in order to get to the core of our issue.
Whatever that means, nerd. I'm out of here.
Jake, I think, says like, "I'll give you some probative theories."
Yeah, and then the little owl goes, "What?" Good times. Remember that part, y'all?
Adam gets dropped into class, to a class where a skunk sprays on him. It's called the science of spraying. And
it's awful. I hated it.
It's especially awful because it's like a shower. It's like a white tiled shower, and it looks so like sterile, but not really sterile because it's like grimy and mucky with all the plants and stuff. And like this is where like skunk spray class happens. It's like, just
this
vile.
This is where people wash themselves.
Gross, and gross.
I think it's like especially disgusting that like the spray doesn't come out as a mist; it comes out as like a liquid stream.
It's very, very like there.
Yeah, like it's not like if it was a mist, like that's like, oh, okay, it's skunk spray, but this is just like it's just pee. It's just like pee. It's like a big stream of pee, and it's just so awful.
These next events happen pretty quickly.
Yeah. I don't want to step on your toes here too much, Renee, because I'm pretty sure you're really excited to talk about what happens next. But I want you all to guess. Just take a moment and try and guess, because the skunk calls a hall monitor. Try and guess what animal the hall monitor is. I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds. Okay, Renee, go on.
Okay, like the skunk. What's shocking is that like the skunk teacher is like asking like this hall monitor to get Adam back, because like even though he just like wandered into the class, he's just accepted him as like the testing dummy for like their sprays, and so he calls the hall monitor up, and it's hall monitor Sasquatch. He's just this like big Sasquatch with big feet. It's just like on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, we got a delinquent, eh?" And he crushes the phone and like charges out like you can't run from me. I can smell ya from a distance.
Sasquatch, the Bigfoot.
It's a big feet.
It's Bigfoot. It's a Sam Squatch.
It's a goddamn Sam Squanch in Charles Darwin, and like it's there. It's like he's there. We don't really see him like much after this though.
No, right after he's like running, chasing for Adam, he gets completely disregarded because Adam finds the pack. But
that's fucked up. It's fucked up.
I want to linger on him for a bit. Like, you know, he's got like a very like sort of like old, like wizened, like hard ass teacher kind of vibe. He's got quite a character design. I mean, he's a Bigfoot, you know. He's got those big feet and whatnot, but like I don't know. He's got personality to him, and I wish we lingered on him more, because it's interesting, and like how terrifying he is chasing after Adam, saying he can smell him from a distance.
And it's not even like Adam gives him the slip, or like, you know, like does some quick dodging maneuvers. He literally like is running down the hallway and literally like runs into the others, and then like we don't see the Bigfoot catch up or like see him or say anything. Like he just disappears into a puff of smoke, I guess. I don't
know if that's scary or or what. Like, isn't it kind of scary that like he's not anywhere now? Like we forgot, like he was just before being like, "I smell your fear, human." You know, like
like a big super mutant or something.
That was for you, Renee.
Thanks.
Windsor informs Adam that they have found slips and he's dead. Then they hold up some old snake skin because they're stupid. They're fucking stupid. And
It's gotta be his corpse. It's gotta be. Look at it.
So just then the bell rings and all the night students rush out and rush onto the bus. And this is... They rush onto the bus outside, and the bus drives away, and you see the gang just kind of laying on the sidewalk, face down, and then they just lay there for the whole night. Like it turns to day, and they're still just laying motionless on the ground. It's very funny.
Windsor is very distraught about this, in his Windsor way, saying that I guess I'll have to find a new little buddy. But in walks, surprise, surprise, Slips in Adam's night vision goggles.
Gas.
He used them, you see, to get home.
Yeah, I found like an opossum kid, and I traded these cool, wicked night vision goggles for some garbage, and I got to go home safe. And keep in mind, like, Adam, like, when he lost those goggles, he was like, "Dang it, my mom's gonna kill me." So I'm glad he got those night vision goggles back, but everyone's like distraught, like, we thought you died, Slip, and you just like went home safely without telling us.
What the hell? And he's like, oh, okay.
Awkward.
Well, this is like, bye.
he just kind of slips off stage.
Oh,
Stage left.
Oh, that slips.
But then they realize, wait, where's Jake?
And they find him in a dumpster. He found his true calling to be a garbage decorator, and he made like a garbage cake.
I remembered this cake. This cake, like, it has significance to me.
A deep memory.
It's one of those deep childhood memories that we were all crazy about. The fucking cake was in the deep enclaves of my mind, and it came back.
They all sort of just crowd around it and eat it, and Adam's like, this is gross, and I hate it. The end.
I think you want to be kept in the dark, Ingrid. Wink, wink.
Da da ba da ba. Wow, wop.
Wow.
We get some end credit stuff of Jake, like, sitting, meditating, and then at the end he, like, pulls up his eyelids and it says the end, which is, what I thought. I thought that's how it was originally gonna end, but I guess that's how it ends in, like, the end credit stuff, so there's that. But hey, that episode was pretty good. Like, we kind of went through it, but we without really, like, explaining, like, how good it was, but all just, like, the little bits of, like, seeing, like, these different scenarios, these different, like, students, like, how they're doing, the little, like, trash foraging class, the little the skunk class, how creepy that was, the Bigfoot.
There was a Bigfoot in this one. Hey, Bigfoot was in this one.
Bigfoot's real. Bigfoot's real.
He was there for a second. He's still chasing Adam Line.
He's gonna come back. He's gotta come back. There's gotta be a Bigfoot episode.
God, that makes me so sad. Look, if he doesn't come back, please, I need all of you to keep Hall Monitor Sasquatch's spirit alive. He's too good of a character to be left to be forgotten. Everyone, if nothing else, if my legacy means nothing else, if I, like, go away into dust in the wind and get, like, blasted by the heat rays of the sun, let my lasting impression on this earth be that we, at least for a moment, recognize and remember Hall Monitor Sasquatch. God, please.
And then, like, everyone in the room, like, in the auditorium, they're all standing up and they're in black and white and they're, like, clapping.
Beautiful, beautiful time. Now, let's talk about some comments and a piece of artwork we have here. We have a little fan art from @SnailVoid on Twitter. They say, decided to make a touching tribute to one of my favorite podcasts at My Gym Partners Podcast on my brand new Twitter. It's beloved cartoon monster, Jake Spider Monkey. And indeed, it is beloved cartoon monster, Jake Spider Monkey, saying, nobody will escape my wrath.
I like referring to Jake as beloved cartoon monster.
It feels so accurate. We love him for a lot of reasons, like blazing trails, but he is a little monster. He's a little awful little creature, and we love him.
I love the way the look on Jake's face that you've drawn here, where he just looks like he's going to kill me. There's nothing I can do about it.
He looks absolutely twisted.
But it's fun. It's dynamic. Love the posing here, the silhouette. I feel like he's gonna get me.
Yeah, do feel like he's gonna get me.
I can't stress this enough. Feel like he's gonna get me.
He has psychic powers. Nothing truly will escape his wrath, because he sees all, and I feel like he's got a hand in this reality that Adam Lyon lives in. So thank you for
Thank you.
reminding me of that.
All right, we got some comments. We actually have quite a few that we'd like to talk about. So, who wants to go first?
I would like to go first. Renee, step aside.
Well, all right. Big girl on campus here. Let's hear it.
I'm the biggest lick on this slick. Danny Aquino. I hope I said it right. The episodes about child character has a don't sigh at me, Lucy. I'm trying.
Start over.
This comment is by Danny Aquino. The episode about child character has a crush on newly introduced adult figure in late 90s/early 2000s cartoons always weirded me out, even as a child who likely didn't grasp the full wrongness of it. Luckily, the episode didn't lean into it too heavily. Also, Gert's Leela is spot on. Thanks for sharing with us. Yeah!
I gotta mention there's like a little snail emoji with like a word balloon that says
I'm so happy. I'm glad that you like my Leela impression. It makes me so happy. I feel like I could fry.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't lean onto that really creepy trope, though. Like, that was the one saving grace from that episode, is like, it was treated as not that big of a deal. There were a lot of those kind of episodes back in the day, huh?
There were. That was like a big thing for no reason.
I think it was trying to address that sort of situation, just like trying to address like those, like that weirdness that like kids might have, like crushes or whatever, and like trying to explain it, because like, you know, media is our way of like truly grasping our own reality in a way. So
yeah,
something to that. Wish they didn't have like those awful implications in the other episode though. Could have done with less of that.
Definitely. All right, let's read the next one.
This one is by Plum Zaplook. They write, "New listener. Oh, I came from the Let's Talk About Our Cartoon Boyfriend episode, by the way. Side note here. You know, if you haven't watched that episode we premiered on, or like just any other episode of the Let's Talk About Our Cartoon Boyfriends podcast, you should listen to them. They're a fun bunch of folks. We love them. Give them a listen.
I'd love to do something more stuff with them. It was great being on their show.
Definitely. You three were featured on and marathon the podcast to get caught up. Hearing all these episodes in just over a week has made it clear how the later seasons have a distinct lack of Mr. Hornbill in comparison to season 1, where it felt like he showed up every episode. And that's sort of true to an extent here. I mean, he did show up in this episode, but he was like kind of subdued. I think they kind of recognize that he serves better as just like a means to an end of like, you know, we just need him like to set the scene of this classroom and nothing more, because he's not funny. He's gross. He's terribly perverted. We can't have him.
And I hate him. I thank you for listening to us. Gosh, in a little over a week. That's crazy that you did that. But hopefully you'll keep on with us, even though, you know, no more backlog to catch up to.
Well, we got this episode here for you, and many more.
Hot and toasty, right here.
Hell yeah! All right, this is from our good friend Seep at PainttraCP. Hello, Monkineers. Don't know if I like that name given us, Seep.
Hey, Seep.
Keep
Seep,
it going.
back
Keep
to the
going.
drawing board.
I am just dying to hear your opinion on the recent Mr. Enter video tackling the My Gym Partner's a Monkey cartoon. Frankly, I found his approaching of the topic without the consultancy of the masters at hand to be quite appalling and unprofessional, since it's obvious you're the ones who have pushed the show into the spotlight recently, right? All right, for those in the dark. there is a cartoon reviewer who is like mildly popular, named Mr. Enter. I don't want to speak ill of other content creators. I am not very much of a fan of anything he's ever done. And I know he's made this video where he talked about My Gym Partner's a Monkey, and more specifically the A-word episode, which was like forever ago, wasn't that?
Yeah.
And here's what I'll say. Mr. Enter, don't you fucking ever try and get into our territory ever again. Listen to me. We've been doing this show for far longer than you've been alive. That's right. We've been doing this show in the womb. You wouldn't understand. You don't know Jake like we do.
We
How
have
dare
eyes everywhere, Mr. Enter.
How fucking dare you? I can't believe you would do this to me in my own house. Now, Mr. Enter, sleep soundly tonight, for it will be the last sleep you ever have.
Or at least the last sound sleep. We're not implying that you're going to get killed by us. What we're saying is that you're going to... No, we're not. You're not going to die. What we're saying is you're not gonna sleep good. You're probably gonna need to have to start taking melatonin, Mr. Enter, because you're gonna have unrestful nights for the rest of your life. That's right.
I will astral project into your dreams, Mr. Enter. I will do it. I will get you.
Why are we cursing this man? He's just reviewing a monkey show like we are.
But yes, I'm curious as to how he got the idea. If it was something, it's probably. I mean, it's a. This is not like an underrated this is not like a really unknown show. Like everybody watched this show, so he probably just did it, and he decided to do it now because I don't know. And I hate the fact that anybody is specifically tackling the A-word episode, because we've talked a lot about it in our A-word episode. It is like really awful, especially in today's climate, I would say, where it's not it seems really seems to be very making fun of people who are offended by certain words, and that's really not okay at all.
It definitely needs a sensitive hand, or it's got to be mentioned at least that this sort of thing, its message is not great. It's not okay, especially in this day and age, and that needs to be broached with at least some sort of sensitivity that, hey, this doesn't gel. This doesn't work.
Not groovy, but I'm don't ever want to talk about the A-word episode ever again. Let's move on.
Otherwise, the episode was pretty good, Mr. Enter.
Yeah, good job, Mr. Enter. I haven't watched any of your content. I'm sorry. All I watch are Minecraft videos.
This next comment is by Lively Bubs. They write, "Hey, new subscriber, loving these podcasts, digging the art. Keep up the good work, and best of luck." Thanks. You, Lively Bubs.
Thank you.
We for every new subscriber, Jake Spider Monkey gets another new finger with which he can make many more wishes. So thank you.
Jake's wishing fingers. That's gonna be my custom, my homebrew, My Gym Partner's a Monkey episode of Jake's wishing fingers, and it's exactly that premise. He uses his fingers to make wishes. He gets new joints in them, and he cracks them, and then his wishes come true. All of his wishes.
That's an I Am Weasel episode, actually.
Oh my
What?
God.
Hello, I'm Weasel.
Our last comment is by Sebastian Reese. As terrible as that first episode started, it immediately got me thinking about fursuits. In the My Gym Partner's a Monkey universe, would furries be more or less common? Also, Principal Pixie Frog x Mr. Krabs audio novel ASMR when? If you want my personal opinion, I actually think they would be less common.
Yeah, I think the reality of like, animals talking would kind of like maybe put that more to bed. The idea of furrydom, maybe.
I feel like at that point, I mean, like, it's like you're not you just like other people, like they're people.
Yeah.
Like the animals are people. So like if there are, real life furries, then there's not really I don't really see a point in
Well,
having it also seems like, like it would be strange because like they exist already as individuals as a group.
right. I think the argument I could hear against the case we're making is that a lot of like, being a furry is about like yourself, your like identification with yourself, and you're making a fursona. And so like I don't know how that would play into a world where like animals existed and are sapient and stuff, but I feel like that wouldn't be too taken away because
Maybe
it
animals will maybe animals will have human sonas.
like that could be very possible. Like there could be animals with human zones, and there's could still be a good amount of furries around. Like I don't know, interesting. It's a interesting concept.
Anthrocon would really have a whole different meaning altogether, huh?
It's very right, Renee. Well, it's been we've been going on for a while now.
Yeah, we have. Are y'all ready to do another episode?
Yeah, let's get right into it. So the next
It's been 2 weeks. We have to, we have to really put on our bootstraps and just keep going.
no.
So the next
No.
episode.
No. Next week we're going to be talking about the episodes Mongoose and Mellow Fellows. So yeah.
And next week will be a special episode, I think, because Mongoose kind of was the episode that started this all.
Was it?
Well, yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Mongoose is the episode.
You'll see. Oh, you'll see.
Y'all will see.
You'll see.
Okay, got it.
Renee, pull it back.
Renee,
Oh my God.
Joker's trick.
I'm Lucy.
I am the Gert.
And I'm the Joker.
Oh no! See y'all next week. Bye.
And I'm the Skeksis.